If the country's northern zone is unmanned, you will not be here. If you line the whole 20-something thousand immigration officers around the border, you cannot man the border.
The ability to secure a nation's border is one of the criteria used to classify nations as strong, weak, or failed, as its primary responsibility entails the protection of citizens from both internal and external threats to their livelihoods. Nigeria, at the moment, is faced with more insecurity than it has witnessed in recent times, and there are speculations that many of the criminal groups responsible may have found their way through the country's unmanned borders. The problem of security as a result of these unmanned borders in Nigeria has no doubt become one of the most intractable challenges facing the country today. For proper understanding of the nature of Nigeria's borders, its management and illegal immigrants, Roots TV in this report reached out to the Nigerian Immigration Service through its public relations officer, DCI James, to examine the technicalities involved in manning the country's borders.
See, border management is one of the 8 directorates in the Nigerian Immigration Service. And for emphasis, Nigeria has a borderline of about 4,047 kilometers. Borderline. Most people misconceive what a border is. The border of countries, rarely do you see major demarcation. What you see as a borderline is a line separating the land territory or the maritime zone of 2 countries. So it's not as if there's a specific fence, unlike in Israel, that has the advancement of constructing fence between them and another country. Like you can see between Israel and Gaza, there's a major fence work that forms a barrier between Israel and Gaza. That is an established border. But in Nigeria, you see, because of the land frontier, the land mass, about 4,047 kilometers of borderline, it will be very, very difficult for any country to start fencing, either by building a wall or putting a fence across. So the only thing the country can do for now is this enforcement by the operationalization of immigration border corps, which is being done by the Controller General of Immigration Service, establishing forward operation base in various locations. But managing the border will entail you understanding the concept of our own terrain in our own peculiarity, because the Nigerian border has a peculiar nature of having cultural affinity, traditional relationship, marriage. So you discover that the border in Nigeria of one village falls within Niger and the other one is within Nigeria. So separated by an artificial demarcation, which is not visible to the air, to the eyes. So when people come to cross the border, the only thing they see as the border is the presence of immigration or any other security officer organization at the border, either customs or immigration. The moment you arrive there, they say we have arrived at the border. But that's not true. The border of every country extends into the territory of another country if there is understanding. Because of the ECOWAS protocol, you cannot stop a member of ECOWAS from crossing to Niger, because the only thing that makes you to stop the person is if he doesn't have a valid travel document. But if the person has a valid travel document, the protocol allows the person to cross into Niger, because Niger is part of ECOWAS. The government of nations works together not because of anything, because of the diplomatic ties. But it's only the citizens that are always bringing problem. You are talking about Nigeria, but you think about Nigeria as a member of a community. It's not just a nation. We belong to a community called ECOWAS. We also belong to the AU, African Union. And we also belong to the global community as an international body. So stop seeing Nigeria from the point of Nigeria. See Nigeria as a global body, see Nigeria as a regional body, see it for the continental range. If the country's northern zone is unmanned, you will not be here. And if you line the whole 20-something thousand immigration officers around the border, you cannot man the border. Put them one on one, let them put their hands like this. That's let them stretch their hand, let this one hand touch the other one, and let all the officers go around the border. They cannot man the border.
Is that big?
That's the typical 4,047 kilometers. It's not a small space to cover. So the only solution is what the service is doing under the leadership of the President Controller General of Immigration Service, Mohammed Wandede, by deploying technology. And that's where we have the command and control center, where officers who are on the field will be talking real time with the command and control center at their headquarters. If there's any development, they communicate. So virtually we can see what happens. And they'll be directed on what to do. If it is something that's a major one, like maybe they envisage that people that are coming are like terrorists, they quickly inform the army. That's where the synergy is. We have that communication relationship.
The perception that the country faces increased threats from illegal immigrants, as reflected in the recent comments of the Benue State Governor, cast doubt on the effectiveness of the border management system in place. But DCI James provides a different perspective of things.
I will not contradict what an executive governor of a state is saying, because it's the chief security officer of a state. But as far as I'm concerned, and for this service, immigration, we have not gotten any verifiable proof of foreigners' involvement in the issue of insurgency, because there's no single foreigner that was brought to us as a case study. So if there's any case of a non-Nigerian involved in insurgency, at least we should have one. And you know, Nigerian Immigration Service will not keep a non-Nigerian who is involved in that high level of criminality in the safe. We will declare it publicly and we'll show to the public. And there's no security agency in this country also that has showcased anyone. If there's any verifiable for your proof, as a journalist, you can tell me.
Despite being an arms-bearing and border security agency, the Nigerian Immigration Service says its role is limited in the fight against insecurity.
The battle between the insurgents and the army is not the same thing that the Nigerian Immigration Service can handle, because we are not trained to fight insurgents. Even though we carry arm, you understand? But our training directly does not go with fighting war. So there's a difference between operational officers who carry arm for the purpose of their job. Not that we cannot deter, but we cannot continue to fight the war. So the army have to take over, because that's what they are trained for. If we are not notified or nobody is brought to us, we can't just go and be looking for somebody that we don't know existing anywhere. We have our operational assignment, we have our mandate, we have our core assignments. We can't leave our core assignment to go and be fighting a war that the military is supposed to be fighting. We can't leave our assignment and go to roadside and be doing the work of road safety. We can't leave our core assignment and be doing the work of DSS. So we have our statutory assignment, unless and if we are involved directly by invitation. You understand? Or maybe in the course of our officers' operational assignment, they come across such. Why not? It will be made available to the public.
The general consensus here is that if Nigeria must win the war against insecurity, border security and its management, which has generally been given low priority in Africa and Nigeria in particular, compared to security provided for political elites and their assets in the nation's capital and other urban areas, must be prioritized, as the negligence of border security and its poor management in Nigeria has largely contributed to the prevalence of threats the country faces today.
You have to understand security from a lot of views. Security is not just tied to whether some people are into banditry, kidnapping, or terrorism. You also have to look at political undertone as with relation to security. Is it that some people have ideological move that they are trying to bring to bear? Is it a political move? Is it a diplomatic issue? Is it an international issue? So these are issues that you have to consider when you are talking about security. Don't just limit it to a national issue. International bodies can make move just because they don't want a nation to be at peace. Politically, some political group can do so many things just to bring issues. Then ideological group can make certain moves because they want the nation to be ungoverned. But the truth about the matter is the security of the nation is intact. Every arm of government, particularly the security forces, are doing their best to keep this country intact. In fact, the security forces are the most united body that is keeping this nation on. Left to the civilians, everybody wants to have his own fair share.